Utah's most accurate forecast with Thomas Geboy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
Good afternoon, Utah. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the work week. Our Valentine's Day storm is still moving through, but it's going to be exiting the state as we go from this afternoon into tonight. But we've already seen some pretty healthy snow totals, especially in the southern two-thirds of the state. Bryan Head, as of this morning, picked up 15 inches of snow, but we've seen even more snow at Bryan Head, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a higher total than that for the storm total itself. Then a report around Cedar City, close to 11 inches of snow. Our northern Utah mountains didn't do too bad, definitely not as good as the central and southern mountains, but we'll take half a foot at Alta, now over 500 inches for the season, I might add. Hilldale, 5 inches of snow in Capitol Reef National Park, 2.3. And again, those reports were from this morning, so in the southern portion of the state, we'll likely have seen a little bit more snow compared to what we saw for those reports. But that storm system now working its way away to the east, starting to get a little bit of clearing conditions in the northwestern half of the state, the southwestern portion of the state. And as this system pulls away to the east, it'll take that moisture along with it. And then by tonight, high pressure will start to build in. And we're also starting to see a little bit of blue sky down in St. George after seeing some straight snow yesterday. But it's definitely a windy day down in St. George. We do have a wind advisory in place. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but the wet weather will linger in the eastern portion of the state just a little bit longer, still getting a little bit of light snow at Red Cliffs Lodge in Moab. But anytime you see those red cliffs become white cliffs, always a very pretty view. And the winter weather advisories and the winter storm warnings that we have for the southern two-thirds of the state will continue through this afternoon. We're not expecting too much more in the way of accumulations, but with strong winds, there will be blowing snow potential, and that in and of itself could create some slippery streets. So if you're still going to be traveling in the southern two-thirds of the state, make sure that you're very aware and be very careful out on the roadways. So let's go ahead and begin the Futurecast, 2 o'clock this afternoon. And as we get throughout the next couple of hours, the best chance for wet weather will migrate east of I-15. And then as we go from this afternoon into tonight, high pressure will start to build in. And I'm thinking by the overnight hours, we see dry conditions across the board. It's going to be a pretty cold and breezy night, but the winds will start to gradually die down. And with high pressure taking shape through the second half of the work week, we'll get calm skies, and temperatures will gradually begin to moderate. So we'll be looking at least milder temperatures by this weekend, but it's going to be chilly for today, and it's going to be chilly tomorrow. It's also going to be quite breezy. We have a northwesterly wind in Salt Lake City at 17 miles per hour, and we do have strong winds across the board, but where those winds are expected to be strongest will be in the eastern Uinta Basin, where we have a high wind warning in effect through 6 o'clock, and we also have wind advisories for the eastern Uintas, Daggett County, western Juab, and Millard counties, and also for lower Washington County. And within those advisories, we could see wind gusts upwards of 55 miles per hour, so be careful if you're driving those high-profile vehicles on those east to west routes with those winds mainly out of the north and out of the northeast. Daytime highs coming in about 10 to 15 degrees below our seasonal average. 30 degrees for a high in Salt Lake, 30 degrees in Provo, 24 in Cedar City, 42 in St. George. And that wet weather again in southeastern Utah is going to take a little while longer to clear. Then into tonight with calmer skies, temperatures will be plummeting once again to frigid overnight lows. And like we saw last night, there will be some wind chill warnings that go into effect for Capitol Reef National Park, Bryce Canyon, and also Zion National Park, as those overnight lows or those overnight wind chill values could drop as low as -15 to -25 in the parks. And with more times of blowing snow being a possibility, you probably don't want to be out in the elements across those parks as we go through tonight. As for St. George, we get windy conditions for today, a high in the low 40s. Low 40s again for our Thursday, but temperatures should rebound to the low 50s by this upcoming weekend, and getting close to 60 degrees for our President's Day into early next week. Then along the Wasatch Front, a high of only around 30 degrees today, going to continue with breezy conditions at least through the first half of the day on Thursday, upper 30s by Friday, and then daytime highs back in the 40s both Saturday and Sunday before possibly going into a much more active pattern as we turn the page into early next week.